Hello and welcome to Post-Burnout.com interviews. Post-Burnout.com is a culture website dedicated to venerating burnt-out artists the world over. My name is Aaron Kavanagh and I'm the website's founder and editor-in-chief. This is our website's podcast where we publish the full interviews from our site's articles and sometimes release exclusive episodes. In this edition of Post-Burnout.com interviews, Michael McDonagh, the guitarist and co-founder of the Wexford grunge-and-metal-inspired rock band Blind State, discusses reforming the band after a sabbatical, working with Martin Furlong as their new frontman and how the band changed after bringing him on board, how they worked on their self-titled debut album, the 7-year gap between it and their previous release, how Martin was introduced to the project through a last-minute need when they were about to record for RT's Garageland programme, practicing in Joe Duffy's studio, the Celtic influence in their music, their name, and much more. I want to apologise to Michael. We recorded this interview almost a month ago now, and the reason I was holding off on it is because, as you'll hear in the interview, he discusses doing a launch for the album. The album came out at the end of February, so I didn't want to wait too much longer to publish this. As far as I know, at least at the time of upload, that gig hasn't happened yet, and when I went looking, there hasn't been any announcement for any upcoming dates. So Michael plugs the band's social media accounts and where to follow them towards the end of this episode. So I would say if you're interested, just follow them there to keep on top of that, and do listen to the record. It's really, really good. Thank you very much and enjoy.
There's a fucking storm out there. It was picking up all the wind.
Yes. It started coming in yesterday, I noticed, yeah. And like it
Yeah,
was really bad this morning.
yeah, man, crazy.
Yeah. So how have you been since I guess the release of the album?
Yeah, man, it's going great. We're getting great reaction, and it's all positive stuff that we've heard, anyways. Not saying someone doesn't think different, but no, it's been good, man. It's been great.
No, because I think it's very apparent with this band is that like it really does seem like a passion project. Like you can see the kind of influences of you see like a real sincere kind of play of your influences. I was wondering like maybe if you could talk a bit about that in terms of like what kind of inspired like Someone Blind State.
Yeah, I mean, music-wise, like myself and Martin now at the moment. Martin's the singer,
Yeah.
and the two of us started writing for this project a couple of months ago, a couple of months before we went into record. And we both kind of come from different places musically. Like I love a lot of 90s, well, so does he, but I love a lot of 90s bands,
Yeah.
Earl Jam, Alice in Chains, Stone Temple Pilots, all that kind of stuff, Guns N' Roses. Um, and he would have like Irish influences, which I don't know if it comes across in the album at all, but he loves like John Spillane and Luke Kelly, as well as like his own punk influences, and I suppose we meet in the middle then with a lot of bands, like a lot of 90s bands and stuff like that. But so a lot of people are saying the album is sounding kind of grungy,
Yeah.
which which is cool. I don't know if we deliberately went out to sound grunge or anything. I think that's just the way it comes out in the music.
But what is that like? I hear like a lot of grunge and kind of hard rock and metal influence in particular, and also like the album is not short for its like slower, kind of more acoustic ballady parts too.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, I think it's like really, I really do find that kind of amalgamation of different influences. It's very interesting that you mentioned, Irish music there because
yeah.
that's actually something I didn't really pick up on. Where would you say if you were to kind of say like it was most apparent? Where would you kind of what would you point to in the album in terms of like that being the most apparent?
I don't really know. I mean, maybe some of the slow, maybe something like Gravitate or
Yeah.
Empty, which ends the album, more acousticy, ballady kind of stuff. Um, if anything, maybe it comes out in Martin's voice a bit, but I wouldn't say we've any. I couldn't point to a particular Irish sound on the album, if you know what I mean, like a traditional sense. It's
Sure,
just
yeah.
it's just interesting that he's really into that stuff, and I don't know, maybe it comes
Yeah.
out in in lyric writing or whatever. I don't, but I'm not sure really.
Well, when you compare it to, say, like Live, which came out in 2019, which was the first, it was, I guess, like I would describe it as like maybe like a mini EP, or I guess like
Yeah.
kind of, if like it was a single, but like yeah, it had like three songs on it, and it was kind of the first introduction to the band. Now obviously, now that's the two of you working together compared to just that, as if I'm getting it correct, that was just a solo project, yes,
Um.
the Live EP,
Oh yeah. So that was like a previous incarnation of the band.
yeah.
So this band started. I started the band with a couple of guys in about 2018,
Mhm.
and we played loads of gigs in Dublin and all around the country. Um, there was always a problem with people coming in and out of the band.
Yeah,
Do you
that's
know,
always
it's
the
like,
problem with the bands, isn't
oh man, Jesus, like it's
it?
crazy. Do you know, like even like the first time Martin, our singer, got involved in this band was actually back in 2018 or something. We got a call to go up to RT through Garageland. I don't
Mhm.
know if you know Garageland. It was on
I do, yeah,
RTX
yeah.
2XM. So we were going up. So we thought, oh, this is great. You know, first proper thing. And at the same day, we lost our singer in the band because he wasn't going to go. Yeah, and
Do
we
you,
had a
do
bit
you
of a
get cold feet or?
he was going off with his missus or something on a trip or something, and I was
Oh,
like, "Come
okay.
on, man, this is the first proper thing," and then he's gone, and then so we had a bit of a falling out,
Yeah.
and then Martin, I rang him that day. I said, "Here, can you give me a dig out with this?" And Martin, we were going up to RT in the car. Martin's learning the lyrics, and then we went up to was it Dermot? I can't think of the guy's name now. The guy that does the Garageland show.
Mhm.
So it was a bit of a baptism of fire, and just
But sometimes that's good though. Like sometimes actually those are kind of like the best ways of kind of because I've heard people like kind of not maybe not necessarily doing like a radio show, but like having to either, just suddenly fill in for like a live performance, or
come up with
suddenly
stuff on the
fill
fly
in
or
for,
whatever.
yeah, or like, sometimes like it might be a studio recording. It's like, look, we have this weekend booked. We need a guitarist, or we need something, and ours for whatever reason isn't available. So I've definitely
Yeah,
heard that, and sometimes I think it's good just to be like, all right, like make it snappy,
yeah, I
kind of.
know, but the day of, I don't know. I'd rather
No,
I'd
fair
rather
enough.
it
Yeah,
go to
yeah.
plan.
Give at
But
least 48 hours. Like that'd be
yeah,
preferable.
yeah, yeah. No, it worked out. Now it was funny because that was Martin just gave us a dig out that day,
Yeah,
and then we continued on with a new lineup and a bunch of lads in and out, in and out. Then COVID happened,
yeah,
and then everybody just went their separate ways. There wasn't an ending to the band. It just fizzled out, and we had an album recorded, a full album recorded that we never released because this lad played on it, and then he left, and then we got another guy to track drums or bass or whatever it was, and I was done with it. Then I was just like, no, whatever. So
yeah.
then after I was wanting to get I had loads of songs written, and I was like, right, I need to get this going again. And I thought about starting a completely new band, but then I was like, you know what, fuck it. I like the name, I like Stoneblind State, and I put a lot of work into it. And I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm going staying with this. And then I brought songs to Martin, and he thought they were really good. And then he started writing stuff, and then we just said, right, let's do it, because we neither of us, or both of us, I should say, have been in original bands. We were in cover bands together, me and Martin. Do
Yeah.
like we played everywhere, weddings and all that kind of stuff. And but we'd never actually in our original bands just put out a proper album. It was always a single or a little EP. So we said, you know what, even just for ourselves, we're going to make an album, put it out there, and just see what happens. And it was great, and I'm proud of it. Like to get a full album and have it out there. And if people like it, cool. And if they don't, sure, nothing they can do about
Screw 'em.
it. But
Well, let me
that's
ask
kind of
about
the
that.
journey so far.
Well, let me ask about that. Maybe I should have established it earlier. So, like with Martin, you were kind of like mentioned that you'd played like in cover bands with him before. So, did you meet just perchance by doing like a band with him? Like, how did you get to know him? Like, was it just like through the bands, or did you happen to know him and then you also happen to do bands at the same time?
Yeah. So me and Martin are, what would you call it? We're kind of family because, well, we are family. Um, when I was in school at the time I met Martin first. Martin's about 10 years older than me. So I
Yeah.
just finished secondary school, and my now wife, girlfriend at the time, her sister was married to Martin and is married to Martin.
Okay.
So
So
we're
he's an
kind of
in-law.
in-law, so whatever you
Yeah.
call that.
Yeah.
So that's what Martin is. And he had a band, he had a cover band at the time, and they were looking for a guitar player. And I said, I play guitar. And I think he thought, oh, here we go now. The missus's younger sister's fella thinks he can do this. How are we going to get him in for a practice? And what if he's crap and I have to sit
Yeah.
and eat dinner with him?
That would be an awkward conversation,
Yeah,
to be fair.
yeah, but it went well, and we played in the cover band for about 5 or 6 years, something like that. And then I decided to do Blind State with a friend of mine, Gary Davitt, who was the singer on the Alive EP, and that happened then, and then everything else happened, and now I'm back with Martin on the in the band. It's mad the way it's happened, but maybe it was supposed to happen that way because
Yeah,
I
no,
think me and Martin definitely have a chemistry. And Martin, I knew back from the cover band days that Martin was too good to be on a cover band,
yeah.
if you know what I mean, as a frontman.
No,
And
absolutely. I
that's not
think
to
like
piss on anyone that's in a cover band. Everyone, like I got a bit jaded with the cover band stuff, but I just knew whenever we played, you could be playing into a pub and nobody's there. One guy, two people, whatever. And Martin is there and he's a proper frontman. Like he's there and he's giving it socks. He sounds great. And we're playing in a pub in the middle of nowhere. No one really gives a fuck. You know?
no, I absolutely know what you're talking about. And like, yeah, like it's not a diss on people who do covers. And in fact,
No,
like
absolutely not. I mean, we
a
all
lot
did
of
it. We all do it.
well, that's what I was gonna say. Like a lot of people who are actually in what I would consider kind of successful bands still do the covers like on the side. Like
Yeah,
I
man.
won't say I won't say their name, but I just walked into a pub one time randomly near me,
Yeah,
and there was a guitarist I knew from what I would consider kind of a successful band in the scene, just
yeah,
playing to just playing to the room. It's like
yeah.
it's a good way of making dosh. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
man. I mean, if you want to make a living as a musician, you got to play gigs sometimes that you don't want to play and take everything that comes your way. You know.
Yeah. Do you find actually, this is something I've always kind of asked people when I've heard they played in cover bands was,
Mm,
do you find that like, well, first of all, like it opens up, I find like it kind of opens up your repertoire a bit because you have to kind of like listen and learn, stuff that like you mightn't have chose to
yeah,
listen to independently. But simultaneously, I mean, when you actually end up playing the songs, you kind of like realize like, oh, this is actually more complex or intricate than I thought. You start to kind of consider the crafting of each song, even if it's something that's not for you.
yeah.
Um, do you find that like doing cover bands kind of expanded your capabilities as a songwriter or expanded your taste in any way?
I'd say so, man. Yeah, definitely. I mean, uh, it all goes. I mean, if you're learning these different songs, I mean, it must stay in you somewhere in that music brain, in part of your brain that creative side or whatever. I
Yeah.
mean, all this stuff comes in filtered, and then some of it stays, and I mean, I'd say all bands have take from other bands, not take from other bands, but are inspired by or influenced, even if they don't, even subconsciously maybe or whatever.
Yeah,
You
it
know?
doesn't come from a vacuum. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just all in there somewhere.
Yeah.
But the only thing about the cover band stuff was like it ruined songs for me that I used to like.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I I can't listen to Bon Jovi, man. it's, living on a prayer. I'm like, oh no, not again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Stuff like that. But look, it's
I
good
had a
crack
friend
as
who
well.
did for his leaving cert was doing music, and to this day I think I haven't seen him in a while, but I think he still can't listen to Bohemian Rhapsody
Oh man, I had it for
because
my leaving cert music. Oh no, man, can't do it. Can't do it.
that's good. Yeah, when I was in secondary, not enough. I put music is one of my subjects for the Leaving Cert, and
Yeah,
not enough people signed up, so we just didn't do it that year. So maybe it was a small blessing in the sense that like I have
yeah, no,
talent and
because
music for it on me.
it's yeah. When I in our school, you had to be part of the. There was like an orchestra in the school,
Yeah,
and you kind of had to be part of the orchestra to do the music.
yeah,
I remember I did one, and then to do it for junior cert, it was after school. You had to go for like an hour after school to do it. So
yeah.
I went to the first one and I said, "Fuck that," you know. But then when I was in fifth year and the Leaving Cert thing was starting, I was like, no, I want to do music. I want to do it. And like, I didn't know how to read music or write, like, because you need to do that for the Leaving Cert,
Yeah.
you know. So I was nearly just making patterns. It was nearly like you know, your man let me on. He let me on because I could play, and I did fairly well in it. Like, but when it came to like the oh geez, I don't even what you call it now. Like melody writing and stuff.
hmm
I was just making patterns, man.
Yeah.
It was
No,
just,
I can't read it either. It literally is like a foreign language.
yeah, man. I mean, as a guitar player, you don't really need that stuff,
No,
you know.
and that's the thing. Like, I actually find it interesting, like the amount of people who know theory versus don't. Like, I always said, like, I think the best kind of relationship in a band is someone who is like instinctual and just like doesn't know theory and it's just
Just let
writing because they have a
your ear
passion.
kind of dictate the way.
But then if you have someone in the band who does know theory and then tries to elevate it after the fact, I think if you can get those two, that's often like a very good mix. Like I find that's very common in terms of like a lot of bands I like is that you have the person just like passionate and just like wants to create art and then the other
Yeah,
person kind of elevates it. I don't know, it just seems to be a kind of common pattern I find.
yeah. It's like I watched that guy Rick Beato on YouTube,
Mm.
and I know
Yeah,
he's
he's
always
great.
talking about Kurt Cobain and stuff like in Nirvana,
Yeah.
and like, oh, this works so well because he's borrowing from this and
Yeah.
all of these complex things, and I'm like, I wonder did he actually know that himself, or was it all just in his ear?
It's a good question. Yeah, I think actually Kurt Cobain kind of is very underrated because what people say like his riffs are very simple, but what I think is very interesting is like I just don't know how he does it because like when you're playing like "Come As You Are" is a great example. Like when most people play that song, they do the intro riff, and then when the
Mm,
vocals kick in, say they're singing and playing at the same time. When the vocals come in, they switch the chords, right? But if
yeah,
you actually listen to Kurt playing it live, he doesn't. Sticks with the riff while singing, and
yeah,
that's very hard to do. It's very hard to kind of,
yeah. It's
consider
like, was
the
that patting your head and
yeah, exactly. It's exactly like that. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, man,
Um, patting your head and yeah,
yeah,
like what's it?
rubbing your
Rubbing your
stomach.
head yeah, rubbing your head clockwise and rubbing your stomach
Yeah,
anti-clockwise. Like
yeah,
it is kind of like that. Like I just don't know how your brain can do that. It's very and like so many riffs like that. Like
yeah.
School is and the School is a very simple riff, but trying to keep that rhythm going while singing, I think he's very. But like I think he's very underrated. But yeah, I don't think he's
It's
I don't
mad
think he
because
necessarily knew what he's doing.
yeah, and probably not. But like, it's funny. Like, it seems like every teenager that gets into music goes through a Nirvana stage.
Yeah, it's a rite of
Like you
passage.
see all of the like I mean nieces and stuff, and they're all going around in Nirvana t-shirts and stuff.
Yeah.
And I was, for some reason, because everybody kept going on about Nirvana, I didn't listen to him.
Yeah.
I couldn't get it. I was like, I was kind of on that side where I was going, don't I don't I don't rate this or something. But then
hmm
afterwards, going back now as a songwriter and stuff, and looking at Nirvana, I'm like, oh, I get it. But
Yeah.
I didn't. But before it was, I don't know. It's kind of like if everyone tells you to listen to something, you're like, fucking, I'm not listening to
Yeah, no,
it.
absolutely. I get that.
You know?
Like, it's just like rebellious streak where you're like, oh no, I'm not gonna, I'm
Yeah,
not gonna do that. Yeah, because if someone's saying like this is really good, you kind of become less sympathetic to it, I think. Where if you discover it on your own and you're kind of like, oh, this is my thing, it sort of
yeah,
resonates with you more. I don't know.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's your own or
It,
something.
yeah, I like
Like one of
it's
the bands
interesting.
that for me, sorry,
Yeah, go
what
ahead.
was it? Yeah, one
No,
of the
no,
bands
go.
for me that I got crazy into was Rival Sons. Don't know if you've ever listened to Rival Sons, have you?
I recognize the name. Yeah, I don't know if I've listened
Yeah,
to.
they're kind of like a mixture of Led Zeppelin and Black Sabbath.
Okay.
Okay, and I kind of get it now because when everyone else was telling me to listen to Nirvana, I was like, oh, listen to Nirvana. And then I got into this band so much, and then I'm like, oh, lads, you have to listen. to these lads. So I was doing the very same thing back. So it just that's the way it goes. Like, but you
I was
know,
just looking up there as you were saying it. Yeah, I can't remember. I think I might have talked to someone who was like influenced by them or something because
oh, you should
they do
listen to
ring
them
a
though. They
bell.
are
Yeah,
great.
yeah. No, I will. I'll definitely check them
Yeah.
out. Well, that's the interesting too. It's like when you listen to the music that you're putting out, it's kind of like as kind of referencing like like a lot of the references you were kind of giving were kind of like 90s bands. What do you kind of like listen to now that it's like kind of contemporary? Are you interested in sort of like the new music that's coming out? Does that influence your art, or is it kind of like stuff that influenced you when you were like a teenager or in your 20s kind of is still what resonates with you now?
Yeah, man. I don't know. It's um, like all the bands that you grew up listening to must influence you. Um,
Absolutely.
definitely do. Like, guitar players like Slash and stuff. Like that has to come out and you're playing somewhere. But like new bands, I don't know. I just love listening to the stuff I like. And you know, there's probably so much great music out there that I haven't heard. And that
Yeah.
if I did, actively go out and try find it, I could love. But jeez, it's
It's
just
also a thing, and I have this too, where people go, "What you listen to?" and my
yeah.
mind just goes blank.
Oh
And
yeah.
literally, I have to like look up my phone, like, what was I listening to? Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, it's like I could be listening to a song at the moment. Someone comes up to me and goes, "Sorry," and I take my earphone out and they go, "Yeah," and they go, "What are you listening to?" I'm like, oh,
Yeah, yeah.
It's
I
just one of
get
those
that.
weird mental things where it's like, once you're asked about it, your mind just goes blank.
Yeah, or someone says, or actually, as a guitar player, someone says to you, play something.
Yeah. Oh
You,
yeah,
oh, you play
yeah,
guitar, play something. I'm like, oh shit, what?
yeah.
What do I
Play a
play?
riff. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like
exactly.
you have to tell me.
Yeah, yeah. Tell me to play something. I'll try playing it. But
So the current iteration of the band, as we mentioned, so you work on this like the album that came out,
yeah,
um, and I was just wondering like how this kind of what was the dedication for this record? Was it organically? These were the songs you were writing. You had a bunch of songs, and you're like, okay, let's put them together, or was it the idea from the start, like, okay, let's work on an album?
I think from the get go we were going. Like I had loads of songs, and I had old stuff, I had new stuff, and I kept bringing them to Martin. Like Martin was always the guy, even when he wasn't in the band and I was with these other guys, that I would write something and I'd bring it to him. He was like the
Yeah.
guy where I go, what do you actually really think it is? Do you know? So I always had that relationship with Martin where I could give him something and he could tell me if it was good or if it
Hmm.
was crap.
Hmm.
Do you know? And I
Hmm.
think that's a healthy relationship to have when you're creating
Yeah.
music with people. Like, I write so much stuff. If someone says I wrote a good song, like I've probably written 10 brutal ones.
Yeah.
you know?
No, no, I think that's true for everyone. Like, the like people just see the good art, they don't see all the drafts.
Yeah, 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 man. I mean, I've so much stuff there. But anyways, but when me and Martin got down and we were like, right, let's actually do this. From the get go, we were going, let's make an album because we'd never done it before. It was always an EP or in this band, I actually made a full album, but it was just shelved because all the guys that were on it, it just got too complicated. And then I got just jaded with it. You know,
Hmm. Yeah.
something was there so long now, like, whereas now me and Martin are there and we wrote maybe 30, we definitely wrote around 30 songs.
Yeah.
And we tried to pick, we kind of had in our head around 12 songs for an album. So we kind of just, I don't know, whatever cream rose to the top or whatever that saying is. And we went with what we did. But now, even since, like, I'm after, between me and Martin, I'd say we have another 20, 25 songs at the moment. Brand new
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
And then I have backlogs and stuff. But so what I like to do, like I love to be able to, I'm a songwriter by trade or something if you want to call it that.
Sure.
I love writing
Yeah.
stuff. I write
I'd,
all
I'd
the
say
time.
I'd say songwriting by nature more so. It's like it's
Yeah,
just an
whatever,
instinct.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so but once I have to write something, record it, and then forget about it.
Yeah.
And then really but the releasing part is the forgetting about it for me. I'm so happy that we were able to get this album and then it's out there. so I don't have to worry about it anymore, or
Yeah,
think about it. Because now we have all these other songs now, and I want to go in and record another album and just put it out there and go on to the next thing. Because if not, I end up dissecting songs and going back over them and just fucking you're living in your head, if you know what I mean. So
absolutely.
that's what we want to do anyway. Even like we want to get playing now. We have a band together now to play this stuff live, and it sounded really good. We got some great players. Um, that was the other thing when we went in to record it, all the music. So we went into the Orchard recording studio in Enniscorthy. Brendan Carty is the man who runs it, and he's also a fan. He's probably the best drummer in Wexford. He's a cracking drummer. Plays for Cry Before Dawn. I don't know if you ever heard of Cry Before Dawn.
I haven't. I do recognize the name Brendan Carty. I can't remember if he's come up before, but I do recognize his name.
Yeah, I mean everybody, anyone that you've probably interviewed from Wexford, say creating music,
Yeah,
has
yeah,
probably been in with Brendan.
yeah.
So
I've definitely interviewed someone who's like worked with him before. I'd have to look through my
yeah,
I'd have to look through my archives a bit,
yeah.
but yeah, I guarantee he's come up.
So when we went in to record with him, I got him to play drums on everything, and I think two or three songs. Our current bassist now for the live, he came in and recorded bass for three songs. I think You and I, Mono Tramp, and there was a third song I can't remember. But everything else I went in with and did all the music, like guitars, piano, keyboards, a little bit of harmonica on one song, um, all the guitars and stuff. Just because I was there going, like, I have to get this guy to do this and get this. Oh, you know what? I'm just going to go in myself. And whatever it sounds like, it sounds like. It's not kind of way. Bar the drums
Yeah.
because I'm not a drummer. But now for the next one, we have this live band and it's sounding good. And now I want to go in with them guys and everybody, contribute to the next one.
So do you have a full lineup now?
Yeah, yeah.
Do you want to shout out who's in it, or just so I
Yeah.
could like give them
So
shout outs?
on drums, we got, just I'm drawing a blank. Flick's sake.
I can edit this out, by the
Dave
way.
Duffy on drums. We got Dave Duffy on drums. On bass, we got Alan Corcoran. And I have a second guitar player who's well known in Wexford as well, Ken Stafford, Kenny Blue.
Yeah.
And then it's me and Martin. So the live, yeah, we practicing tonight now, and we have a sec, and we're ready to get going now and get out there and start playing. Because that's the payoff, if you know what I mean, for
Yeah.
all of the recording and writing and stuff, is to go out there and actually play in front of people.
Sorry, just I want to ask you, want me to edit that out when you forgot the name?
I should leave it in a bit of crack. You
All right, fair
you
enough.
get a kick out of
It's like you bastard. Listen.
it. You prick. Oh, sorry. You see, I was going to say Joe Duffy. I was like, it's definitely not Joe.
Okay, yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, because he's retired from the radio show now, so like you need something to do.
Jeez, I didn't even know that. Is he gone? Is he?
Oh, he left. I think like last summer or sometime around then. I can't
Oh,
remember
fuck's
because I
sake.
remember people talking about it at the time.
Yeah.
I've never listened to Joe Duffy. I'm not like in my 70s, so just yeah.
Do you know something? I used to sometimes in the car, I used to put him on and
Yeah.
just fucking laugh. You know, it could be
Yeah.
the most serious thing going on. He's like, yeah, talk to Joe.
Yeah.
Yes,
Well, I always
terrible, terrible
I
Joe.
used, I used to joke with my mates where it's like, could you imagine just sometime Joe Duffy just breaks and he goes, like someone's complaining about something, it's a disgrace show, it's a disgrace, and he just goes, do you ever shut the fuck up? Do you ever get a grip? Would you ever
Yeah,
listen to yourself?
yeah. What's wrong with you?
Cause he's like, there's people starving, there's war and famine, and you're talking about this. Shut the fuck
Yeah,
up. Have some
I used to look.
perspective.
Remember David McSavage used to
Yes,
do it.
yes.
Oh man, that was so like he used to do it.
How
But
does
like
that
Joe
make you
got.
feel?
How does that make you feel? It's like Joe got off on people's misery. That was kind of the skit, like.
Yeah.
But,
Good man, Joe. Enjoy your retirement.
yeah. Does he play drums? I don't know. Should be a bit of
Yeah,
crack.
maybe. Yeah, like he could learn. He has all that spare time now.
Yeah, exactly. No,
I bet he missed it. I bet he missed it. He's like, what? Like he's like going to his wife or something, just being like, "Do you have any complaints? Something wrong?" She's like, "No, everything's grand." And he's just like,
yeah,
"Nothing, nothing."
yeah, yeah. Oh, stop. He's some
Um,
man, some man. And it was actually funny because when that original story where me and Martin went, or we went up to RTE and
Yeah.
Martin was learning the songs in the car. Yeah, we actually went in. So our first actual practice with Martin was in Joe Duffy's chair because we were in his studio in RTE,
That's a story.
and we were in there while the RT2XM was going on, and we just had to get somewhere to practice before
Yeah.
we went into the room to the live room. So we ended up in Joe's studio. So there you
That'd be
go.
gas if you accidentally like hit the mic as you're doing it.
Yeah,
It just like goes live.
we all
It's
just
like
start
Joe,
going.
Joe, there's someone singing in your studio.
Yeah, it's terrible. It's
That's
terrible.
terrible, Joe. It's terrible. He doesn't even know the lyrics, Joe.
Yeah, he hasn't a clue, Joe. Oh, stop.
That'd actually be a good way. That'd be like guerrilla promotion. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
Sneaking into Joe Duffy singing, be like,
yeah,
if you can hear me, the name of our
yeah,
band.
yeah. It was like
Follow
what's
us on
that
Instagram.
that film Airheads? Remember that?
Yes, yeah, with what's his name? God,
Brendan Fraser.
Brendan Fraser. Couldn't think of his name. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So don't they take over the radio and that?
Yes, yeah, yeah,
Remember?
yeah. I haven't seen
So
that in ages, but yeah, I think you're right.
yeah, it was a good one.
That
That's
is actually, but that is like so 90s. Like that is like a relic of its time. Like that in Wayne's World, it's like
oh yeah,
you
man.
know, when people remember like kind of 90s alternative culture, it's like those films just kind of like nailed it. There was a movie with Christian Slater called Pump Up the Volume that was kind of a similar
Yeah,
thing as well.
yeah,
Like I don't know if you've seen it, but like all those kind of things where you're like, yeah, that is kind of like actual document because like I think now people kind of like when they remember the 90s they have a specific vision where it's like those are actual good representations of what it was
yeah.
kind of like.
It was some mad stuff, man.
Yeah, it's
But
like watching. It's like when you actually like watch like the Woodstock movie from 1969. It came out in the 70s, but like
yeah,
recording the 69 Woodstock, and it's like because everyone remembers like the hippie era, and then it's like it's actually fascinating to go back and watch. Like I was watching some of the
yeah, man.
Woodstock interviews, and like just the way people talked, it was like, wow, that like. That's really modern nomenclature you're using. Like those are really like people do say a lot of like hippie things that you kind of
Yeah,
associate
yeah,
with. But then also they'll just say something you're like, Jesus, that's like really poignant, you know?
yeah, yeah. I was
I
like,
love it. Yeah.
oh yeah, I love looking back on all stuff like that. Like Jimi Hendrix on the what was your man? Is it Carter or something? What was your man? The late night host?
Oh, Johnny Carson.
Johnny Carson. Johnny Carson.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
see Jimmy on it, and he's just all like quiet
Yeah.
and your man Carson doesn't know what to make of him really.
Yeah. You know
But
what's
they end up just
interesting,
kind
man?
of it's nearly like they just take the piss out of him a little bit though as well because I don't know,
Yeah. Yeah,
But
I
it's
don't
mad
know.
to
Like
look back on
I
those
think
old
that's like
things.
a little
Out there.
countercultural. Yeah.
Yeah,
They just kind of like take the piss out of. I think that was just always the. I think they still do that too. Like
yeah,
if
man.
anything's like new or interesting, it's like initially you kind of mock it, and then you eventually becomes cool, and you're like, oh, I always like that, you
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
know.
Revisionist.
Well, you know what I think is like really interesting. Like you look back at like when you look at even like this even goes until the 90s. Like if you look at some of the old MTV interviews from the 90s and stuff like that,
Mm,
it's so laid back. Like people are just talking and it's real casual. Like, you're watching like someone interview and they're like, so when's your album coming out? And they're kind of like they almost seem sleepy or something. They're kind of like rubbing the dirt out of their eyes and they're like,
yeah.
yeah, well,
Heroin.
it comes, yeah. But they're just so casual. They're just like, yeah, well, we did the record and it comes out in the autumn and it's like and they're just like real cat. It's like all this
Yeah.
space to breathe, and the guy's just like, okay. And I think like the
Yeah.
reason
There's
it
no
was kind of like
political
that,
questions.
yeah. Well, I
You
think the
know?
reason it was like that was like when MTV kind of like started doing stuff in the 80s and 90s, they were like they just got these music journalists, from
Mm,
like Rolling Stone and wherever, and they weren't like. They weren't like prepped for the screen. They weren't like video journalists.
yeah.
So they're just like talking to them as they would a casual interview, and it picks up, and it's like it doesn't necessarily make for good television, but I think it's like more authentic television when you look back on it, where it's just like, all
It's
these
like
people
just
are just
people
like
hanging out.
talking. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it
Yeah.
really does have that kind of vibe of just like, I don't know, like, you think of now and it's like everything's like real fast paced, like there's no real
Yeah, man.
sincerity to the questions. It's just like,
Yeah.
just trying to be entertaining. Where like there you
Like
actually do
even all
kind of
those
like
like
learn to
late night
expand.
shows and all, it's just
Yeah,
seems real robotic or something. It's
yeah, and then like
you know that the
it's
questions have gone out beforehand and there's a joke coming that we've already kind of half rehearsed or something.
yeah. That's why I used to love. There was a comedian called Norm Macdonald who used to. He would go on like Conan O'Brien show and stuff, and
Yeah.
he would like intentionally give them misleading questions so that he would always subvert it, so you never
Oh
actually
yeah.
knew. So it was always authentic, and I love that. That's great.
Yeah.
So like,
Yeah. Oh man. It's
yeah.
crazy. Like I
Very
don't think
much.
there's any like on TV these days, is there any like moments that happen that you're going to think about in 20 years' time? Do you remember that happened?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like
I
that
think
doesn't
that.
happen anymore, I don't think. Whereas you could think back things in the 90s and stuff like,
Yeah,
or whatever, different things that
it's.
happened on TV or whatever, like that you remember. Now everything is
But
just there's so much stuff.
I
And
think anything that's of note now has to go viral
yeah,
because like you think about like when there was like only a handful of television stations and everyone watched the same stuff. So like,
yeah,
Johnny Carson or whatever. And it's like people would remember because everyone was watching the same shit because there wasn't anything else. Or like I guess even over here, like the Late Late Show back in the
I
day,
was just
like
thinking about that. I was thinking about
yeah.
your man. What was I can't even, I was trying to crash or something. Remember your
Yeah,
man
yeah.
guy onto Pat Kenny, was that at the time?
Oh yeah, and he goes, "You're
Remember
an
he was
arsehole," that one.
yeah, yeah, your man was
He stood
roaring
up.
at him, remember?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He got
Yeah.
up and he like walked on stage, just some dude from the audience.
Yeah, stuff like that. I don't know if that happens anymore, or maybe it does, and I just don't know about it. But
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, I think like now for stuff to have an impact, it has to go viral after the fact
yeah, man.
because I'm trying to think of like moments like I don't know, like I'm trying to think of like, kind of important moments, but like if something happened, like I'm trying to think of like even the authentic interviews that we're talking about, like the
Mm.
only one I could think who kind of does that, I guess maybe is Tommy Tiernan, just because he doesn't know who's going
Yeah,
to be
man.
on. And
Yeah,
they can be authentic, and sometimes like maybe something viral come from that. And then in terms of music, I guess like it's still the Jules Holland show,
yeah, man.
and
Yeah.
I can't really think. I guess like fanning at Whelan's, but even that's like really edited. You know what I mean? So it's not
Yeah.
like authentic. So yeah, I don't know because like you look at like all those old shows and like from like in the '70s, like the BBC, All Grey Whistle Test, and having the punk movement and getting Joy
Yeah, man.
Division and stuff like that. It's like I don't know. It's just like or the South Bank show or whatever. It's like I just don't think there's like those cultural programs anymore. But I also
There's
wonder,
so
are they
much going
needed?
on, I guess. There's so much
Yeah,
information coming at you now
yeah,
from
and I
all
think
these
like
different angles.
I think if something like how something has a cultural impact is if it's being talked about on social media. Kind of, I think that's
Yeah,
just how
pretty
you know
much.
now.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's a good or a bad thing. I'm just saying
No, not
that's
me
just
neither. But I am kind of like in the Stone Age when it comes to that stuff.
yeah, yeah,
Like, that's the worst thing about that I found out with this is trying to, you know, navigate TikTok, Facebook, Instagram with all this sort of stuff. And then like Facebook, that's not even a thing anymore. Facebook's old, or
yeah.
whatever. Like I don't know. I don't know what's relevant. I really
Yeah,
don't.
well, I think Facebook, like I still use it for like groups because like that's where it's a good advertising platform if you can get into the
Mm,
right like groups. But even then, like I kind of wonder because there's all these things like promote your band, things like that. And I wonder like, are you just throwing it into the air? You go, hey, we're this band from Dublin. This is what we sound like. These are our influences. We have an album out. Check us out. Are people actually going, oh, that sounds cool. I'm going to check it out, or is it just kind of like maybe they'll like it and then just move on, never
yeah.
actually engage with it. You know what I mean? Like I wonder, you know what I mean? I think actually TikTok is kind of a good thing because like you can just randomly like just scrolling, just like land on something and then you listen to it. Like it's happened to me. Like there's some artist, I can't remember her name, but she's like a British artist who, when I've been scrolling TikTok, has popped up a few times
Mm,
and has been using the same song. Like her original song, it's been using. It has actually got stuck in my head. Like if it has a hooky melody, it
yeah.
has got stuck in my head. I don't know the name of the artist offhand.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's like I do have to admit, like, it worked. It was effective. So I think if you like pick a particular song that you think has a good hook and that you think
Mm,
like will get stuck in people's head and just hammer it in consistently, I think that is an effective way of kind of getting your music out a little bit. But even then, it's like, well, how do you actually get seen on TikTok consistently
yeah.
enough for that to work? I don't know. Like, I don't purport to, know how to game the algorithm or anything like that.
Yeah. That's jeez. I don't even want to.
Yeah.
It's just like yeah, like you're I was doing all this stuff on Instagram and TikTok and trying to put all this stuff up. And I'm like hours spent on my phone,
Yeah, yeah.
trying to do this stuff. I'm sure if you were more experienced with it, you know, you could do it easier. Whereas
No,
like
it still takes ages,
you reckon, yeah,
even
yeah,
if you do. Yeah, because I kind of help like other like places, like I'll edit videos for things and stuff like that, and it does take a while. Like if you're gonna make something good that people want to watch, it does take ages. Even if you're
mm,
shitting something out, even if it's like half-heartedly, if
mm,
like just to get it right, even for social media, like even just small things, it still takes a while.
yeah,
Like if you want to do it right, it's gonna take ages, and even if it's short form content, like even if it's only a 20-second video,
yeah,
it takes like I'd say even a 20-second video can take a minimum like a half hour to really do properly. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Um. So yeah, it depends.
I need to
Like
hire somebody.
yeah, I mean, like that's the thing. Like I think so many musicians now wear so many hats. So if you're a musician now, you're not just making music and releasing it. It's like you're also doing promo, you're doing social media, you're
Yeah,
doing PR, you're doing like everything
you're doing the
yourself.
what used to be the label's job, I guess.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And even like even but I heard someone talk about this. Someone who was on the label, Sarah Crean is her name.
Yeah,
I don't know her personally, but I know who she is in music. And she was saying like it's still on you, like to do
yeah.
everything. Like they want you to have the followers before they'll take you on, and they
They
want
want to
you to
see
have
that
the
you were
reach.
able to sell this thing.
Exactly, yeah, and it's a weird thing where like social media following is kind of how they determine if you're worthwhile putting the effort in. And unfortunately, like too, like I've seen from other publications and stuff like that I've worked with, like they do take that into consideration, whether they run an article on you, well, what's your reach and stuff like that. And to me, that's kind of
Yeah,
shit because that's like against, like to me, it's like it's the people who have the less followers that need the publication, like that need stuff getting out there. There's no
yeah,
point just like right, like I understand why they do it, of course, but like writing about the artists that everyone knows about, you know what I mean? It's like it
mm,
seems to me, well, it seems to me like the best thing to do would be like, okay, run the articles on, the big names that are going to get people to click on your website or to buy your magazine. Do that, but then simultaneously also use that as a vehicle to show off new artists.
yeah.
That would be
Exactly.
my ideal, but
Yeah,
I don't know. I guess I'm thinking altruistically a little bit.
that stuff. It's hard to know. It's hard to win, but I think if you consistently make good stuff and put it out there, eventually something's going to happen.
I think so too,
The
yeah.
size of
And
that, who knows how big it's going to be or whatever. But that's what I plan to do with this now. It's like
yeah,
even like me and Martin, like I know with the full band, continuing this on, and just I'd like it like even if someone just stops me on the street or something and says, "Oh, you're in a band," and I say, "Yeah, like this band," and they can go and they can see, geez, these lads have 4 albums or something,
yeah.
and then like just build up a following that way and live shows, obviously, and all that.
Well, I'll say like all the social
Having a what's the word? Like a back
presence.
catalog of stuff,
Yeah.
you know. I'd like that.
No, absolutely, yeah. And also that's the other thing too, is like so many artists like you need it to get the attention of PR, the attention of promoters and stuff like that. I still think like to this day, live is still where you get your following because
Yeah.
as good as social media is and things like that, nothing compares to
And
doing it
actual
live and stuff like that.
proper
Yeah,
fans and
exactly.
stuff
That's how
that are
you
going to,
accrue your fan base. Like that's because I've talked to so many people and they go, "Yeah, after we did this gig, we had so many followers go up. People
yeah,
noticed it. That's how people find you." And like I like Fibbers do the kind of free things upstairs.
yeah,
That's a good way. Like I wish there was more things like that where it was like someone doesn't have to go to a gig necessarily to see you play. Like there's places like Shanae and stuff like that where like I wish they would just do gigs for free because they have the stage there and they have it set up and people come
yeah,
in to get drinks because like I've worked doors there for like doing promotion. I've worked doors at Shanae and it's like there's so many people coming in and just want a drink and you have to turn them away, go, sorry, there's a gig on tonight, we can't
yeah.
you have to have a ticket to come in kind of thing.
Yeah,
And I wish there was like the Fibbers thing is great because like sometimes I'll just be there for a drink and then like a band will come on like they're really good or whatever and like check
yeah,
out I get to discover a new band. I wish there was more opportunities like that or somewhere like the Grand Social or wherever people are just kind of hanging out,
yeah.
just have
Jeez, I
some
used to
music in
live
the
in
background.
Fibbers, man. I used to live in Fibbers.
Yeah, me too.
Fibbers and yeah, there were some good nights there, some crazy
Yeah,
nights.
some bad ones too.
Some bad ones too, man. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, Jesus, I could tell you some stories now. I mean, like, probably shouldn't tell them.
Yeah, probably don't say anything that will incriminate yourself on
Incriminating.
record.
All right, that's half the story's gone. So,
I'll just say this: you go out to the smoking area out there, you go to where they play pool in Fibbers.
yeah, yeah.
There's gonna be some illegal shit. You're gonna smell some
Oh,
illegal
absolutely.
shit.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. It was just that. It's kind of like the Wild West of pubs in Dublin or something, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Especially like this is probably a weird reference, but like there's in the first Ninja Turtles movie from 1990, there's a bit where they go to this clubhouse where all the kids are like smoking cigars and playing pool. And I swear to Christ, every time I'm in Fibbers, it reminds me of that fucking scene from Ninja
Yeah,
Turtles.
yeah, yeah,
Or like I think there's a similar scene in Terminator 2 as well, where it's that was always just a cool thing, just having like kids playing pool and smoking cigars. It was like I think RoboCop had something like that, one of the
yeah.
RoboCop
I'm trying
movies
to think
too.
of Terminator 2 now. I remember when he comes into the bar. Is that at the
Yeah.
start of the? Yeah, yeah.
No, not that part. There's a part where where the kids hang out, like
Oh yes,
there's
yeah.
a
Oh,
group of
it's
kids.
in like
Yeah,
an
yeah, yeah.
arcade or some
Yeah,
something.
something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah. And the Fibbers smoking area just reminds me of that place.
yeah. It's the Wild West, man. I don't know what it's like now. I haven't been there in a few years, but
Yeah,
I used
it's
to.
still
But
the same.
yeah,
Yeah, still the
I
same.
used to love the sound guy in there. He was a French dude. I think he retired there. Do you remember
Oh,
him?
I don't. I knew a Polish guy who used to do sound there. I
Yeah,
can't
I can't
remember his
think of
name
this
on top
guy's
of my
name. He
head.
had big,
Uh,
long, yeah, he had a big grey beard and long grey hair.
no, I'm
Remember
thinking
that
of a
guy?
different dude.
A
No, I'm
different
thinking of
dude.
a different dude. Yeah, no,
I can't even think of the guy's
they're
name.
both gone anyway.
Yeah, I remember
Yeah,
we used to piss him off so much, like,
yeah,
because you'd be sound checking and then you'd turn something up and he's just like, oh,
yeah.
you're losing his mind.
Do you think about like doing sound checks in there was it was always like the last minute? So like doors are at
Yeah,
8
man,
and
it
then
was always
they don't
really,
do the sound check till like quarter to.
yeah, yeah. It was kind of, you were up there 2 minutes nearly and then, right, we're going.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
That
yeah.
kind of
It
thing.
was like yeah, it was always like, but you'd be there for like an hour beforehand. Then it's just like, all
Yeah,
right, we're gonna do it now. Yeah,
yeah. I don't know. It was good crack though. I mean,
it
I'd like to
is.
go back there now again and play some gigs.
Well, now you can now.
Yeah, exactly. That's yeah, that's the next part, man. It's just start playing live and build up
So
from that moment.
now that you have the band, are you playing live? Actually, that's what I was gonna ask.
Yeah, no, we're kind of building up some dates.
Yeah,
I can't really say anything about particulars, but we're trying to get a good few gigs lined up and then just kind of go out with a bang. And
well, do you want to like promote roughly when people can start seeing you live? Because like I think actually good that's a good way of like if people want to see you live is like follow you on social media. I assume like go to like
yeah,
Instagram things like that.
yeah,
Uh, so
all
like
that
when would the
stuff.
live dates kind of roughly be announced? I guess for fans.
Yeah, I think probably in the next month we'll have something for guys for everyone to look forward to go see.
Perfect. Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like we might even just well we will do that. But I could see us going into the studio now in Noland again and putting out another album.
Oh, this
That's
will be
what
the
I want
first
to do.
time you've gigged since the pandemic.
With this band, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, have I was doing a bunch of different other stuff like different bands and
Sorry, I
stuff.
meant to say, would this be the first time Stone Blind is played
Yeah,
since
yeah.
the pandemic?
Stone Lane
Yeah.
State will be the first time it's properly back.
Yeah.
So we want to do we're probably going to organize or we're in the middle of organizing an album launch, even though the album is out on Spotify and stuff, to having a maybe like a physical launch, physical sale launch, if you know what I mean,
Yeah.
and build from there, and hopefully get some festival slots and stuff like that.
Yeah. Actually, is that
That's
kind of like, is there like many festivals in Ireland for like for the kind of rock music you're doing? Because you know there's like a lot of alternative festivals, there's a lot of pop festivals and stuff like that. But just in terms of like, I don't know, like hard rock, metal, roughly kind of alternative music, however you want to phrase it. Like, is there kind
Yes.
of the opportunities there? I guess. Like,
Seems to be hard going, man. I mean, trying to trying to get on. It's about who you know a lot of times, isn't it?
yeah,
Getting
yeah,
onto
yeah,
these fucking things.
yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
you know,
You definitely have to know the promoters and stuff like that. You
yeah,
have to know the
it's knowing
supporters.
the
Yeah.
promoters, getting out there. I suppose by playing gigs, they see you, and that's a way in.
Yeah.
So
I just wish
that's
we had some kind of like equivalent to like download or something like that over here, you know what I mean?
man. Yeah, remember a couple of years ago they were going to, I think it was actually during COVID or something, wasn't it? Remember there was
Sunstroke is at it, yeah, with Fate No More and all that.
yeah, remember that?
I wanted to go to
Oh
that so bad. I've wanted to see Fate No More so bad. And
yeah,
last time they were here was 2009. They played the Olympia and it sold out in like 2 minutes or something. And it was
yeah,
just impossible to get a ticket. And then they haven't been back since. And then like 2020, and basically what happened was they were setting up around the same time as Download was going on in the UK. So they're just kind of ciphering bands from Download and bring them over here.
nicking a few
But I
bands
didn't
off them.
care. Yeah, I was like, that's great. You know what I mean? And there was it wasn't even just them. There were so many bands that haven't played Ireland in ages that were
Yeah.
going to play here for the first time in like maybe like 20 years, maybe the first time ever. I was like,
Mm.
that's so great. And then COVID happened, which fair enough, they can't be held accountable for, but then they never tried it again. I'm like,
Yeah,
bring it
and it's
back.
weird because always the biggest shows in the summer or whatever, usually
Yeah.
summertime, they're usually big rock acts that come to
Yeah,
Dublin.
like
You
Metallica's
know,
doing the Aviva twice this year. Yeah.
yeah. Slane usually. Well, I don't know about Slane anymore, like, but it's kind of
Yeah. Well, the
could be
last
any.
one was Metallica, the last Sling gig. Well, no, actually,
Yeah.
sorry, I'm misremembering. Harry Styles played after them, but I think
Oh
like,
yeah.
yeah, sorry. But yeah, it normally is the big rock shows. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know like so? I can imagine a festival like Oxygen used to be that years ago. Remember Oxygen Fest?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That was a
Again, that
great
was sort
festival.
of like was because that was like they had Tea in the Park in Scotland, and then they would basically
Yeah.
just bring them over to play Oxygen. Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah. And
yeah. But I don't even mind that. Like, if we're just ciphering bands from the UK, that's fine. Like, I have no issue
yeah,
with
because
that.
people will go and they'll pay to see it,
Yeah,
and it'd be a
yeah,
major success. I'd say it's just I don't know. You'd wonder what's stopping it. Maybe just
yeah.
someone needs to come out and do it.
I guess like the last sort of vestige of that is like Electric Picnic, where they're kind of just taking bands from Reading and Leeds, sort of. But even
Mm.
then, it's sort of its own thing. Like, I actually kind of like to be fair to Electric Picnic, like because I'm not always the biggest fans of their lineups
Yeah,
every year, but they do diversify a lot. Like, there is like a lot of
yeah.
versatility
People
on
tell
their
me that.
lineups.
I
Yeah,
have never, I've never been, but I've heard people talking about like, there's so much different types of music at it, and
yeah,
like spoken word events, and
yeah,
it could be anything. Different parts of
yeah.
the
Yeah,
festival. Or
I struggle to justify a lot of times because like every year there's always acts I want to see, but never enough to like justify
actually
going.
go. Yeah, yeah,
That's the thing. It's like, and sometimes like again, it's like that's like the only like the artists I'm interested in. That's the only time they'll actually come to Ireland is for Electric Picnic. Like, I wish they'd fucking just do a headline show
and
so that I don't have to go.
don't they actually sell the tickets before you even know
They
who's
do,
playing?
yeah, yeah,
So
they
then
do.
if
Well, but
someone
that's
actually
gonna come
that
up.
you want to go see, and you're like, put it in,
Well, it always sells out, so if there's someone
yeah,
on the lineup you want to go, you can just resell it. There will always be an audience, like, you know what I mean? And there's some people who just go for this. Like, it's funny
it's
because
just
like
an
it's
event.
really big with families. Yeah, it's really big with families actually, because like so they'll just go every year. It doesn't matter who's on. It's just like an event to do, kind of. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh man, I don't know, 4 days or 3 days in the tent. I don't know if I'm out for it anymore, man.
Yeah, no, that's the
Once
thing.
upon a
Like, yeah,
time, man,
yeah.
at least
Just
be
like just
comfort.
camping is one thing. It's fucking like porta potties.
Oh man, yeah.
Jesus Christ, I can't
Three
do that.
days
I
of that.
couldn't do that for a weekend. I couldn't do
I don't
porta
think
potties
so,
for a
man.
weekend, man. That's
Jesus, I mean, it's bad enough when you're at a gig or you're at
yeah,
like some outdoor event,
yeah.
to have to deal with that for a few hours. Imagine.
Yeah, no, they
We're
should
showing our
if they're
age, I think here.
well, no, if they're no, I don't care what age you are. No one likes porta potties.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's
Yeah,
true.
no one likes. You could be anywhere from 0 to 100. You're not liking porta potties.
No, man, no, it's crazy. Just one of those things you have to put up with though for a live show.
Yeah, perfect, man. I'll try. Look, I won't take much more of your time. Be very gracious. I just want to
No,
ask one
no, man, it's
final
all
thing.
good. Whatever you want to do.
No, I'm free, but like I just want to be kind of conscious of your time.
No,
Um,
that's all good. Yeah,
So you have the album out now, and as you mentioned, this is something you've wanted to do for a while, like recording an album. Now that you've done that, how have you found the process? Was it easier than you thought it would be? Was it harder than you thought it would be? And what's it like now to actually be like, I have an album out. No matter what I do with the rest of my life, I can always say that I've recorded and released a full album.
yeah. I suppose it's a labor of love, when you go through that process or whatever. But
Yeah.
I love it. I'd live in a studio if I could. I love it. There's something about it, you know. Um, it suits me. But no, it's great to see the evolution of something that just comes into your head, from the muse or whatever you want to call it,
Hmm.
to an instrument, to a jam, then into the studio, and then to actually get something at the end of a physical thing, you
Yeah.
know, of that whole process is cool. Like,
And then when you have the final like release, when you have the album finished and wrapped, is it like what you envisioned or is it different?
oh, it's definitely different.
Yeah.
It's funny, like there's a lot of heavy songs on it, like, but most of those songs, like, I usually write everything on acoustic.
Yeah.
But most of that, like, even the head, like, and that's proper heavy on it, like, all of that stuff started on an acoustic guitar. You
Yeah,
know?
I think that's so common. Like metal, punk bands, grunge bands, like so many of them start writing on acoustic. And even funnier
Yeah,
sometimes, like a lot of times they start writing them on piano and then translate it to guitar. I've heard that a lot of times too, actually.
yeah. I've been doing that. I kind of ventured into that. Like, there's a bit of piano on the album, like on Gravitate
Hmm.
and songs like that.
Yeah.
I'm not a piano player by any stretch of the imagination, but it's kind of cool to just to get a keyboard and fucking try to get some sort of sound out of it that's coherent
Yeah.
or something, you know. And it's
Yeah.
kind of like, I think I heard the guy from Counting Crows talking about that,
Yeah.
writing on piano. But he's not like a piano player, so it's like, it's, I don't know, comes from a different angle or something, you know. So
I
I've been
think that
doing
I
a
think
bit.
it's actually interesting to do that. Like if say for example you're a guitar player, but you have access to other instruments, I think it
Mm,
is interesting to kind of try it out on different instruments. And kind of like I like used to like I only had access to guitar and bass growing up, but it'd
mm,
be very interesting when you play bass and you get like a totally different groove and it's something that you would just never consider if you were only playing guitar. Just like
yeah,
an idea for a song that you would never consider. So like I don't know if you're playing like Tin Whistle or something like that. If you have one around and you know how to make a chord. I think it actually would be interesting just to look around and see
you
like as
know,
many instruments you have access to.
yeah. That's a funny story now that I was thinking, like, lately, like, we recorded a cover of Spancel Hill.
Okay, yeah,
And it sounds, I really look forward to people hearing this. It's not like what you think of Spancel Hill. It's our version of it, which is cool. And I think that'll be on the next album, definitely. Because we got it back from Brendan, and it sounds really, really, really cool.
so are
But
you incorporating the more Celtic
just
backgrounds
on
into
this
it or
one, I
something?
don't know why, I was there one day, and I think I was watching, I think it was YouTube. I was watching Shane McGowan back in the day on the Late Late or something, and he did Spancel Hill with Christy Moore, is it? Christy Moore?
Chrissy Moore, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And just, it's a great song, like, but I just thought, like, that could really work as like a kind of like, oh, what's the song?
it's kind
Uh,
of like Whiskey in the Jar, Tin Lizzy's
yeah,
version
kind
or
of like what
something
Tin
like that.
Lizzy
Yeah,
did. I was saying, if there was another band now to do it, like, what song would you pick? And I kind of thought that song would be good. So it
yeah,
was just a little experiment, and we went and did it. But Martin then, he came back to me and he was like, "Do you know what sound great in that? A whistle,
yeah,
tin whistle or something like." And or a flute, or no, tin whistle. That's what he said, tin whistle. And I said, "Yeah, right." And so that same day, I went up to the local music shop and bought a
yeah,
whistle,
yeah.
and I came back
Oh,
to
have
the
you played
studio
them
with it.
before? Yeah, or did you play them just for this? Did you learn just for this?
I got it just for this.
Yeah.
And I came in with this whistle, and he says, "I meant to actually get a fucking tin whistle player, not for you to go to the shop and buy a tin whistle." But that's the
Well,
way
this
I kind
band
of
is
look at
actually
it.
expanding your capabilities as a musician because you insist on like doing the additional instrumentation. You're going to expand as a musician. You're going to be like, yeah, I can do everything.
But
Eventually, it's just going to be a one man band. You're going to have all of it at once. You're going to have
yeah,
an accordion
yeah, I have
here and a
all the
fucking
stuff
guitar
hooked up
here,
to. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah,
and like the cymbals on your legs, just like you
Yeah. Oh, stop. I mean, yeah, it's I'll have to stop eventually, you know.
Do you think there'd be an instrument where you're like, I can't do like
Ah,
this is too
definitely,
much,
man.
yeah.
You know, here, look, I can barely play the guitar. Never mind, fucking tin whistles and notes.
You can say that now that the band has already started. Like you wouldn't have pitched that. You wouldn't have said to like Martin, like, "Look, I can barely play guitar, but we should start a band."
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah,
like you're
yeah,
stuck with me now.
yeah, exactly. But no, it's the whole thing's been great,
Yeah,
and we just want to keep keep momentum going. And we've a load of songs, too many songs sitting there. I have to get them recorded and out of my brain.
yeah.
You know, so that's the plan, is consistently put out music. Whether that's to our own detriment or not, I don't know. But do you know, because like a lot of things these days, it's all singles, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you know?
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, like what's weird is that like some people spend even up to like 2 years just releasing single for a final release, be it an EP or an album. And the
Yeah,
problem is, by the time you get to the EP or the album, you're kind of like,
you're
well, I've heard
jaded
all
with it.
this. Well, you're like,
Yeah,
I've heard all this. Like, there's artists I love, but it's like like half the album. It's like, yeah, like I've been listening to
I've
this for
heard
two
that
years now.
already.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
It's kind of a difficult thing, but it is like single heavy. Like that's what everyone says. Like they're like, yeah, you have to release the singles for the piece. Because like I think the problem is like with the streaming thing is if you release your EP, your album, you put it out all at
it's
once.
kind of
There
like
it
you're
is.
wasting content or something.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's a cynical way of looking at it, but kind of, but it's also sort of like that's it. Like it's like
It's
there it is.
done.
Where it's like if you have like the singles, it's like well, in 2 months you'll have the next thing. In two,
Yeah,
like it's kind of building it up like consistently. I
yeah,
don't know. I mean, like that, like you can feel how you want about that. That is how it is. But yeah, I think
yeah.
in like it used to be like the album was the big thing, and you'd have maybe like two singles out
Two
before the
singles. Yeah,
album, then a
I
single
could
out
see us
after the album.
continuing on with that. To be honest with you, even
Yeah,
even if that's the right or wrong thing to do, I don't know. But
yeah,
um, I just like the idea of having a band that has a bunch of albums out,
yeah.
and you know, a back catalog. And once we can keep writing good songs, keep recording them and releasing them, you know, maybe if we get to the stage where we have only a few left, we're like, oh
Yeah.
man,
Like,
let's
oh,
put out some singles.
did someone say singles? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That sounds good.
But what actually, I guess the final thing I'll ask is, we're talking about like the quantity of songs you have kind of in your back pocket.
Yeah.
What inspires you? I guess like what kind of fuels your fire as a songwriter?
I mean, everything really, like, you know, it's crazy. Like, I'll be in the car and I'll have a notepad with me, like, you see something. Like, I'm the whole time pulling in at the side of the road to write something.
Hmm.
You know, whether I'm listening to someone else's music and something else pops into my brain. Like,
I would
usually
not
when I
like to be
go,
behind you. I'd not like to be behind you driving. Then just like, what the
it's
fuck's he
kind of,
doing now?
yeah,
He's in the hard
stop, like,
shoulder again.
yeah. But like, yeah, stuff like that. And then, you know, sure, look, life gives you so many different, you know, avenues to write about. Um, yeah, I don't know. But writing music is what it's all about for me,
Yeah,
and putting out music and stuff like that. I love this. I love this shit.
yeah.
If you know what I mean. So so maybe I'll be 60 and someone go like, oh yeah, Mick has 20 albums out, but they're no good.
Yeah.
Who knows? I'm just
Well,
gonna go with the flow and just see what happens, man.
60's optimistic in terms of like reflecting on your work. People are still going to their 80s now, man.
Yeah, I know.
So I'm probably boring regular listeners of the show by bring this up again, but I am fascinated by like how many 80-year-olds are now still rocking it, like Rolling Stones, Bob Dylan, Paul McCartney,
Yeah,
Van
man.
Morrison, and Neil
Yeah.
Young. It's like, oh
Oh
my
man, I
God,
saw Van Morrison at
you
the
don't get to retire anymore, do you?
no, maybe they can't. I don't know. Too
Yeah,
many
that's the
ex-wives and
thing.
stuff like
I
that.
don't know if they wanted to or like like because I think it's great if like that's genuine your passion. If Paul McCartney wants to play until the day he drops, that's great.
Yeah,
But
if,
like, is
unless you're,
it?
yeah. I hope
Yeah,
that the it's for
I
the
hope
right
it's
reasons.
voluntary. I hope it's voluntary. I hope it's their decision, not like
Yeah,
economic need. Because I think Al Pacino returned to acting just because he blew all his money and didn't have a
you just
retirement
needed a few
fund.
pound, like.
Yeah, he was because I think he retired in his late 60s, right? He was like, I'm done acting, and then like in his early 70s, he came back and was like, yeah, I kind of I need the
You know what I always liked
money.
about that when you're talking about actors is like Joe Pesci.
Yes, yes,
Joe just
he,
decided to stop.
yeah,
You know, like he has so many great movies. He has a couple of bad ones, but I'd say if you took all the actors and just went like how many pieces of work are all great, like
yeah,
Joe Pesci has some amount of good movies, like you know.
yeah,
But then he
and
kind of
Home Alone
stopped.
too.
He stopped, didn't make anything, and then came back for what was it, The Irishman? Remember with
Yeah,
Robert De
yeah,
Niro and
yeah.
Al
And
Pacino?
even then, he didn't do any promotion for it. He was kind of like,
Yeah, and then
I
went
think
on with himself
actually,
again.
but I think also the problem was there was a document. I think Apple TV did this like huge retrospective on Martin Scorsese, right? And like
Mm.
everyone he had worked with was involved except Joe Pesci. And I think his problem was like a lot of the people they were depicting in like Goodfellas and stuff like that. He actually kind of knew in real life, so he was always
Oh
kind of
right,
like ginger about. He's like, I don't want to say too much, like. So I think he's still
yeah,
even to this day kind of. But I'm like, those guys can't really still be alive. It's like Goodfellas
yeah.
was
You'd
like
wonder.
set in
You're still
the
looking over your shoulder. You're 80 something.
yeah, but Goodfellas, like they were all like in their
They were
like
all 50s,
40s.
surely, in that, were they?
Yeah, and
40s,
like
maybe.
that's like set in the 70s or 80s, right? It came out in the 90s, but I think it's like it was
Yeah,
depicting mob life in the 70s and 80s. So like
yeah,
I guess actually I guess probably there are still like some old alpha lists sticking around. Yeah, if they're
yeah,
born to like the 1940s, they're probably still around. Maybe even 1930s could still be around.
yeah.
I guess now.
I
Yeah,
mean, we remember one person you mentioned, Van Morrison. I saw
yeah,
him at the. I went to that Hot Press 50th anniversary show.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Oh
At
man,
the arena, yeah,
Van Morrison came out, did three songs. Brilliant, man.
yeah,
You know, he was so good. Saw the Frames. They
yeah.
were brilliant. Glenn Hansard he has so many. Anything Glenn Hansard does, I like. You know that? He's just
I
one of
don't
those
know how
guys.
Glenn Hanserman, he's like so busy. Like, I don't know how he schedules his time because he's just like everywhere. It's like, and even like sometimes randomly, I'll just see Glenn Hansard at a gig, like as an attendee. It's like, this
Yeah,
Glenn Hansard.
yeah.
It's
He's
happened to
always
me a
doing
few
something.
times. It's like, seriously, it's like sometimes you just see him randomly at a gig. And like,
Yeah,
it's funny because like people always go up and say hi to him. He's always very nice. Like,
yeah,
I've never said that to him, but he's
yeah,
just like, he's always very like, thank you, like very polite and stuff like that.
yeah.
He's never like, don't talk to me.
Yeah, I'm sure there's lads like that as well. But
I sometimes like you can't blame him. Like if you have to say hi to everyone, like I can
yeah,
imagine if like you're like I at some point you have to be like sorry I have to. So I don't
yeah. If
know.
you're
I
at a
don't.
certain level of fame, I'd imagine, yeah, you'd have to.
Yeah,
You know, you're just wanting to go for a walk or something, or get a bag of
yeah.
chips or something. You
Or just
can't-
sit down to go to a concert. You know, what I
yeah,
mean? Like
without
take your
people
seat before
annoying
the
you.
performance. Yeah,
You
I,
know,
I, I don't know. Like at the Olympia they have like the special like
like the
boxes aren't
boxes.
available. They're
Yeah,
not they don't go on sale to the public. It's like for like special like
VIPs.
exactly yeah. I understand the need for that because like imagine like you're Michael D. Higgins and you want to go to a gig or something like that. You're not going to be like general seating. You know
Yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean?
Just imagine landing in and Michael D is beside you.
I
You know.
actually, that's probably like I actually could see Michael D like just beside you. So like, hello, you're like, all
Yeah,
right.
yeah. This is great.
Yeah, this is great. The frames.
Yeah. Well, he was actually at that show. He came out and read a poem.
Of course he was. Yeah, again,
You
like
know, you know.
Michael D always like will do the art, won't he?
Yeah, he's a legend, sure. He
Yeah,
is a
yeah,
legend.
yeah.
In fairness,
I
like
actually I like her new one too. Catherine I forget her name
Conley.
now. Catherine Conley. Yeah, I think she's good too. I like her.
Yeah, I
But
don't know. I kind of
we're having a good run of presents, I think, lately.
yeah,
Actually, to be fair, I think we've had a good run of presents since Mary Robinson. To be fair,
yeah. I mean, they've
yeah,
always been popular, really, haven't they? All of
yeah,
them,
yeah.
for the most part. Um.
But they've all like they've had their little controversies.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I won't totally whitewash it, but yeah, for the most part, yeah,
yeah. Brown golden envelopes and yokes.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I do know, man. I check out with a lot of that stuff. You know, I
That's
mean,
fair. Yeah,
you know, I suppose maybe sometimes you kind of have to be know what's going on. Then sometimes it's like,
not so much with the
so
presidency. You
well, not
don't.
with the presidents and stuff like, but
You
just
could just let them do
world
what they want.
news and stuff, man.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
You
Well,
know?
that's the thing. Like, you can get very cynical about it. Like, I do think it's a weird thing where you have to, for your own sake, you have to zone it out because
Yeah.
news is so cynical that if you wouldn't get it done, you'd be like, what's the point? We're all gonna die in a nuclear war or something.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
like, for your own
Sanity.
productivity, yeah, and sanity, you have to kind of just at some point be like, all right, I don't care how bad the world is, I need to get up and actually do
Yeah,
something.
yeah. Don't care about the world. I'm just going to listen to Nirvana.
Yeah, yeah, kind of. Yeah,
Back to
yeah. And then
Nirvana.
it's funny that you're going to like Nirvana for like, like oh, I need for my own sanity, I need to listen to
Yeah,
Nirvana
yeah,
for my
yeah,
own for my own peace of mind.
yeah. It uplifts
Yeah.
me.
But that's how the world is now, supposedly.
Yeah,
I'm sure
man.
there's some I'm sure there's some good out there. We just you won't hear it.
Oh, it's hard to know. But sure, look, it is what it is, as they say.
Perfect. Let's wrap there. Is there anything you'd like to add before we wrap up? Anything I failed to cover? And generally, do you want to plug where people can find your band?
Yeah, just Stone Blind State on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and anything else that's out there.
Actually,
Um,
could I just ask you, when describe just I should have asked this earlier. Do you want to describe how you came up with the name?
oh, what was it? Yeah, it was kind of like just like actually that conversation we just had where everything's political, everything is supercharged and stuff. And
Sure.
I wasn't trying to come up with anything too political with a name. Well, firstly, I wanted a name that no one else had.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't think anyone else had that name. But
No, because I one thing I'll say is like I actually do think I don't know how to describe it, but your band name perfectly describes the kind of music you're about to hear. It's very fitting,
yeah,
I think.
I don't know. It was I don't know. Maybe it was band name generator or something. I don't know how I came up with it. But yeah, no,
I
it's
wonder if
it's
people
it's.
now are like using ChatGPT to get their
Oh, I'd say
thing.
so, definitely.
That's
Yeah,
that's the good thing about being a band from 2018 is that like you're like, hey, ChatGPT wasn't around, we came up with this.
yeah,
But I bet
yeah. I
people
don't know,
are. I
but
bet
can
people.
they even get any claim to that through Chat
I actually
GBT or
don't
whatever?
know. I actually don't know. Yeah, that's the
Like, if
interesting
you
thing. Is
come up
like,
with that, is that yours or is it a computer's?
yeah, because you can be like, yeah, you can be like, here's the type of music I want to make. I'm making music that sounds like this. Give me a good band name. I kind of want like you can feed ideas. You could be like, all right, here's the thing. My band sounds like this. I write
Yeah.
music that's about
Who
these
own?
kind of topics. Yeah, because
Yeah,
like that's the thing. Like people, unless you've actually played in bands, people don't won't know how many bands like have split up just because you can't agree on a name. It
oh man,
sounds
yeah,
ridiculous, but seriously, getting a name that even if it's only a two-man band, getting
yeah,
a name that everyone agree on is so difficult. It's like, oh my God, you just go
brutal.
back and forth. Well,
That's
eventually,
half the
what
reason
happens
why
is,
I stayed with Stone Blind State with this new
yeah,
project because I
yeah,
was
you're like,
like,
I
I
don't
don't
want to
want to
come up
go
with a
through
new
that
name.
again.
I
I don't want
don't
to
want
go
to come
through
up with
that.
a new name. It's just like, yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be
Oh
funny
man.
actually if the Rolling Stones broke up now in their 80s and then Mick Jagger's like, fuck this, I want to start a new band. He's like, I'm just going to call it the Rolling Stones. I'm going to call it the Rolling Stones 2.
Yeah,
It's
too.
a legally distinct band.
Yeah, yeah.
Actually, wonder.
I'm sure Mick Jagger has the name title up anyway, definitely.
Oh, I was gonna say, I wonder if you could call yourself like, because I remember when I was in college when I was doing film,
Hmm.
I'd make these like short films and stuff, and for my own amusement, I used to subtitle them. So like whatever the name of the film was, and then in brackets or Citizen Kane 2. So I used to call
Yeah,
them all
yeah.
Citizen Kane 2, and it was a super joke that like I think eventually one of my lecturers like, yeah, you gotta stop doing that's not funny
You
anymore.
gotta
Like, all right,
stop.
but you gotta stop. But I wonder could you just like call your band Rolling Stones 2 or like Metallica 2 or just get like a
Yeah.
big name and just be like, yeah. And it's like, look, it's legally distinct. It says
Yeah, I
two. The
wonder,
number
like
two
you're
is there.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like that definitely Metallica is copyrighted. You can't just use that.
Yeah, well, yeah. I hope
Yeah.
so, yeah.
But you think of
But
like tribute bands, right?
that's
And
what I
like
was
they
just gonna
kind of
say
like
that.
use,
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah,
yeah, because you have to just play on words that's already out there, like play on the
yeah.
name or so
I
you
think the
wonder.
worst one is when they just use the band name and then to go a tribute. It's like that's not original.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I mean? Yeah, like Gary Glitter, a tribute.
Yeah.
I wonder
Oh
actually if
no.
there's people out there like that. 'Cause there's definitely still Michael Jackson impersonators and stuff and tribute acts. I wonder if there's like some of the guy. It's like, listen, I don't like the person,
Yeah.
but you make good music.
Do you know what people need today? Gary Glitter too.
Yeah. Hey. And then everyone's like, dude, we're not going along with this. Get out.
Oh, stop.
It's like I spent €5,000 of my own personal finances getting this started. You're going to listen to Gary Glitter tribute band. I can't return
Oh,
these eyebrows. But
oh,
sorry,
stop.
I disrupted you. Add the name.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was kind of yeah. It suited the music for some, as you were saying. I don't know why though. Why that
Yeah.
is, I don't know. But I know if stone was a word I wanted to use, or vice versa with the other ones. But yeah, I like the name. Then
Yeah.
sometimes I think, is it too is it too much of a mouthful? Stone blind state.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe like yeah. Um, I don't know. I don't
It
know.
is what it
I guess
is.
that's yeah. I don't know.
I'm stuck with it
As
now.
long as
So.
people remember, I guess it's like the good thing. You know.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Something I say. Yeah.
That's funny
Do
then
you,
when
do
you see
you don't want to be up on stage being like the name of our band is fuck, what are we called again? You know what I mean? That's the thing you want to avoid.
lad.
As long
I
as
was
you
in a
like
band. I was in a band with Martin actually back in the day, and it was called Cold Dog Soup.
cold dog soup, yeah.
Right? That was
Yeah.
and I used to fucking hate it when anyone asked me what was the name of your band, because I just joined after, and that was the
Yeah.
name, and I hate it. And people go, "What's your name?" I was like, "Cold Dog Soup."
Yeah, cold dog soup. That's the
Yeah,
thing, yeah. That's actually the thing, because like if you were in the band from the start and someone's like, what's the you and someone suggests that, you'd be like, no. But then when you join the band it's already active, you're like, well, I guess fucking I have to take
I
it.
may go with
Yeah,
it.
I guess I have to take it, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like
it was weird
actually
though.
I've
When used to we ever
I,
play anywhere, like, and you'd have that black, the chalkboard
mhm.
or whatever you call it outside, and you'd have Cold Dog Soup. I
Yeah.
was like, wonder did anyone ever go in and go like, no, you surfing Cold Dog
Or
Soup?
they thought yeah, that's what I was gonna say. They thought it was the menu for the
Yeah,
day.
Stormlight said,
It's
I don't
like,
think anyone's going to
listen, I
order that.
just I'm always up for trying new things, you know.
Yeah, it's local dog, is it?
Where's the source? Sorry, it's just Irish beef. I
Yeah,
wouldn't
yeah, I
know
want
that.
to make sure.
Yeah, I want to support local. Thank you. Like just has the guaranteed Irish logo on
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it.
Oh, stop. But yeah, no, I do like the name, so it is what it is now. We're stuck with
And
it.
it's just so it's kind of casual, instinctual, sort of just like yeah. It didn't have any deeper meaning. It was just sort of like this is what I think suits the band.
Yeah, yeah. And maybe everybody was so like divisive around that time, you know. On
Yeah.
the, I just wanted something maybe that kind of resembled, or what's the
I'm going
word?
to find a way to make it offensive. I'm going to find a way to politicize it and be like, I can't believe they call themselves this. I can't believe it. One
Yeah.
sec. Blind, that's ableist.
Oh yeah, yeah,
There you go.
yeah.
Did you check with somebody who has is vision impaired before
Yeah,
you
are they
invented
happy
that?
with this? Did they
Yeah, are
give
they
you the
happy with
okay?
that? Are they? Yeah, yeah, there
Yeah,
you go.
yeah. Are they represented
Or
properly
I could
here?
do the opposite thing. It's like, oh, so sorry, you have to be visually impaired to enjoy this band. Is that it? Like, you can't win
Yeah.
either way.
Or actually, a great one lately on Facebook. We put out the first single,
Yeah.
and someone went, so Stone Blind State, and someone went, ha, more like Stone Deaf State. You know,
Ooh.
as a to take the piss out
Yeah.
of us. Like, I thought that was funny, Stone Deaf
Yeah,
State. I
that's
was
what I
like,
gotta
yeah,
say. You like you can't be mad at that. That's
no.
good.
Oh, stop.
It's like,
And then
all
it
right,
was,
got you, bastard.
yeah, you have to laugh at that stuff, because if not, you'd go mad.
You should put
You
that
know,
as a review on like, when you're promoting the album. It's like,
yeah,
whatever that person's name is. Just put that like as a quote. They were
yeah,
like, why'd you include that? It's like, 5 stars, like hot press, or like,
yeah,
one of the greatest
yeah.
Irish bands, Nine or Nine, and then it's just like that
Yeah.
dude's thing.
It was like, yeah, that was a good, yeah, because we actually get a good one from we sent Electric Lady to the Jackie Hayden. You know Jackie Hayden? You ever hear him?
I
He
recognize the
used he
name.
used to
What's
run
it?
Hot Press. So he used to be the editor of Hot Press, I think. He
Okay.
wrote that Tin Lizzy book, or the Phil Lynott book, My Boy.
Yes, 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 yes. Yeah,
So
I
I
think
sent
I
him
know
this.
the one. That's the one with the blue cover and him. kind of in
Yeah,
the stripe, black and white. Yeah, yeah, I know.
that was
Black
it.
and
Yeah,
red jumper. Yeah,
yeah. He wrote. I think I don't know. Yeah, he wrote that book,
yeah,
and um, so I sent him Electric Lady, and he texted me, he emailed me back, and he goes, uh, "Jesus, full on, isn't it?" And he goes, "It says what it needs to say in under 3 minutes and fucks off."
yeah.
And
That's a
I
great
thought
quote.
that was great. I said, "Can I use that?" He said, "Yeah."
He said no.
He said, "Just
I don't
spell me
think
name,
I
just
don't
spell
think
me
you
name
need
right."
permission at that point. You just have to, as long as they said it, you can quote them. There you go.
Oh yeah, no, I asked him first
That's
though,
legal
so he
required.
was
Yeah.
he was okay with it. Jackie
Yeah,
sound.
but if he said no, you could be like, well, fuck it, I'm doing it anyway.
Yeah, yeah. I have the evidence here, Jackie.
I can legally quote you.
Yeah, but Ash, look, it's all good, and
Yeah,
it is what it is. It's good fun.
everyone. And future of the project, so gigging this year and then like more release. Who knows? Maybe even releases by the end of the year. It seems like in terms of the quantity you have.
I definitely think so, man. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think I could see us putting out another album this year.
yeah. Oh, a
Um,
whole album. I was thinking even just like a single by the end of the year, but like a second album. That was really common in the 70s, man. Like you'd have people releasing
yeah,
two, even three records in a single year. Like it'd be like,
yeah,
okay, this is your release for the first quarter, and this is your release for the second quarter. I'm like, Jesus Christ,
you know, I think there's
yeah,
something cool about that too.
yeah,
You know, maybe it's
yeah.
is self-indulgent. I don't know. But,
No, I don't know. I think well back then obviously it was to fulfill contractual
yeah,
requirements, I guess.
yeah,
But like I do think I don't see why not. If you have the capability of doing it, you have the material, you think it's good. I don't see why not. Why not put out two
yeah,
albums in a year?
yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck it if someone starts talking to us because we're. Did you ever see that shit band that puts out album after album? Whatever. Once they're talking about us, and
Well,
good press,
that's at least that's
bad
different
press.
than like the band that puts out like six singles a year. Like which one?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I mean?
So that's it. Yeah, live shows and definitely more music, whatever
Yeah.
that will entail.
Perfect. And follow you guys on social media so that you can see when the dates are up, whenever
Yeah,
they
yeah,
announce. But they should be, you were saying they should be announced roughly around
yeah.
April time. Yeah,
I'd say so. Yeah, yeah.
perfect. All right. Thanks very much for your time and
I
enjoy
man,
the rest
tell
of your
you,
day, Mick.
it's had a blast with you, and thanks very much for covering the band and doing what you do, man.
Absolutely, man. It's a great record and people should check it out. It's on all the streaming platforms now.
Yeah,
So yeah, perfect. And there might be a physical. Actually, sorry, this is the last thing. Sorry, just thought of this now.
yeah,
You mentioned there was potentially going to be physical release. Would that be like a CD or vinyl or
yeah. I was
tape?
looking into both. Definitely CD and maybe vinyl. I'll have to see.
Well, when you're making the record, so obviously the record is for digital at the moment, it's for digital
Yeah,
release. But do you kind of consider, well, potentially this could be released on vinyl down the line. So do you consider the track listing then for like an A and a B side, even though it doesn't matter at the moment, but like if it does eventually come to vinyl, you will have to consider when the side A end and when the side B
yeah,
begin.
yeah. I think we were more interested or more involved in just getting the thing recorded.
Yeah.
You know,
So
so
would you
that's
like
always the thing with
rearrange
us.
the track list if for like different formats or anything? Like or would you be like, no, the album is what it is?
I'd say it is what it is, and just put it out there.
Yeah,
But yeah, probably.
yeah.
I can't say. I don't know.
We'll see.
Ah,
Case
you
for
have me thinking
Asura.
now. I thought I was done with the album. Now I'm like, ah, no,
No, no, sorry.
back in there.
No, I just find it interesting because like when you're doing the vinyl, you have to think about the
Yeah, you're
beginning and
right.
end twice
Yeah,
versus when it's on any other format. If it's on CD, if it's on digital, you don't have to worry about it because it's just one continual thing.
yeah. Oh, here. I'm not thinking about it today.
There you go. That's your homework for the week.
Yeah. Goddamn Aaron fella, lads. He ruined me week.
Actually, even if you make a cassette, you have to think of it there because you have to do the flip there too as well. So
Yeah, I know. Oh, here. I'll let
yeah.
someone else worry about
that's
it.
that's not my job. That's the A and R of.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Our invisible A&R man.
Yeah. He can do it.
Yeah.
Perfect. Thanks very
That's
much
that.
for your time, Mick. Enjoy the rest of your day. It was lovely chatting with you.
Thanks very much, Aaron. Thanks for everything. Fair play to
Bye.
you. Take it easy.
Thank you for listening to that episode of Post-Burnout.com interviews. We're available wherever you get your podcasts, so we hope that you enjoyed and would consider subscribing, giving it a like on YouTube, or a rating anywhere else. We also have some exclusive episodes only available on Spotify, which features interviews with the likes of Kim Deal, Ron Mail of Sparks, Jacob Slater of Wonder Horse, Maria Kelly, Gavin Friday, and many more. So check those out if you're so inclined. Otherwise, thank you for listening and see you next time.